Mount Everest. The name itself evokes a sense of awe and trepidation, a symbol of nature's grandeur and peril. A colossal giant piercing the sky at 29,031 feet, it reigns supreme over the Himalayas, standing as the highest point on Earth. It is a place of extreme beauty and unforgiving challenge, where serene landscapes can quickly turn into a battleground against the elements. Its slopes, a canvas of white and blue, beckon adventurers from every corner of the globe, each one drawn by the promise of glory and the thrill of the climb. To stand on its summit is to touch the sky, to experience the raw power of nature at its most primal, a moment that etches itself into the soul of every climber. The air grows thin as you ascend, each breath a labored effort, a reminder of the altitude and the thin veil between life and the void. The temperature plummets, biting at exposed skin, a relentless adversary that tests the limits of human endurance. Yet, the allure of Everest is undeniable, a magnetic force that pulls at the hearts of those who seek to push beyond their limits. It is a siren's song, drawing in those who dare to dream of conquering the unconquerable, a call to adventure that few can resist. This is the story of their adventure, a testament to human resilience and the indomitable spirit of exploration. A journey that celebrates the triumphs and trials of those who dare to dream. The quest to conquer Everest is a tale woven into the fabric of mountaineering history. For decades, this imposing peak resisted all attempts to reach its summit. Countless expeditions were thwarted, defeated by the mountain's sheer scale and the brutal conditions that guarded its upper reaches. Then, on May 29, 1953, history was made. Sir Edmund Hillary, a New Zealand beekeeper, and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa mountaineer from Nepal, achieved the impossible. Their triumph resonated around the world, a beacon of human achievement against insurmountable odds. Their names became synonymous with Everest, their story an inspiration to generations of climbers who followed in their footsteps. Climbing Everest is not a feat undertaken lightly. It demands years of preparation, both physical and mental. Aspiring climbers dedicate themselves to rigorous training regimens. They push their bodies to the limit, simulating the grueling conditions they will face on the mountain. Endurance hikes, high-altitude climbs, and strength training become a way of life. But physical strength alone is not enough. The mental fortitude required to withstand the challenges of Everest is equally crucial. Climbers must cultivate unwavering determination, discipline, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. They must be prepared to face their fears and push beyond their perceived limitations. For Everest tests not only the body but also the spirit. The adventure begins at Base Camp, a bustling tent city perched at an elevation of 17,600 feet. This is the starting point for many climbers who dream of reaching the summit of the world's highest peak. Here, climbers acclimatize to the thin air, their bodies adjusting to the reduced oxygen levels. The process is crucial as it helps prevent altitude sickness, a common and potentially deadly condition at these heights. Days are spent trekking up and down the lower slopes of Everest, allowing their systems to adapt to the altitude. These acclimatization hikes are essential, as they help build the stamina and resilience needed for the higher, more challenging sections of the climb. The air crackles with anticipation as teams from around the world prepare for the challenges ahead. Each team meticulously plans their strategy, knowing that every detail can make the difference between success and failure. The initial ascent from base camp takes climbers through the Khumbu icefall, a treacherous labyrinth of towering ice formations. This section is notorious for its unpredictability and danger. Seracs, massive columns of ice, loom precariously overhead, threatening to collapse without warning. These ice towers can shift and fall at any moment, making this part of the climb particularly hazardous. Crevasses, deep fissures hidden beneath layers of snow pose a constant danger. These hidden chasms can swallow a climber whole, making it essential to move with extreme caution. Climbers navigate this ever-changing landscape with the utmost care, their lives depending on every step. Each movement is calculated, each decision critical as they make their way through one of the most perilous sections of their journey to the summit. The Khumbu icefall is a stark reminder of the raw power of nature. This formidable section of the Everest climb is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a frozen cascade of ice that challenges even the most experienced mountaineers. The air is thin and cold, biting at the skin and making every breath a laborious task. The silence is broken only by the crunch of boots on snow and the occasional rumble of shifting ice, a constant reminder of the ever-changing and unpredictable environment. Climbers rely on fixed ropes and ladders to navigate the treacherous terrain, each step a calculated risk, each movement a testament to their skill and determination. Their progress is slow and methodical, a careful dance with nature's frozen architecture. The threat of falling ice is ever present, demanding constant vigilance. A single misstep or moment of inattention can have catastrophic consequences. As they ascend, the climbers enter the death zone above 8,000 meters, or 26,247 feet, where the air is perilously thin. Here, the oxygen levels are insufficient to sustain human life for extended periods, turning each breath into a struggle for survival. The body begins to shut down, starved for air, muscles weaken, and the mind becomes clouded. Altitude sickness becomes a constant threat, lurking in the shadows of every ascent, with symptoms ranging from headaches and nausea, which can quickly escalate if not addressed, to potentially fatal conditions like high-altitude pulmonary edema or HAPI, where fluid accumulates in the lungs, making breathing nearly impossible, and high-altitude cerebral edema, or HACE, where the brain swells with fluid, leading to confusion, loss of coordination, and if untreated, death. The Khumbu icefall is not just a physical challenge, but a relentless test of human endurance and resilience. Each step in the death zone is a victory, a testament to human endurance and the unwavering desire to reach the summit. The climbers' movements are slow and deliberate, each breath a precious commodity. They rely on supplemental oxygen to survive, their bodies pushed to their absolute limits. The world shrinks to a narrow focus. The next step, the next breath, the next ice axe placement. The beauty of the surrounding mountains fades into the background, replaced by a single-minded determination to reach the top. Then, finally, after weeks of grueling effort, the summit comes into view. The sight of the prayer flags fluttering in the thin air, marking the highest point on Earth, sends a surge of emotion through the exhausted climbers. Tears freeze on their faces as they stand on the roof of the world, a panorama of snow-capped peaks stretching out before them in every direction. The air is thin and still, the silence broken only by the sound of their own breathing and the beating of their hearts. In that moment, all the pain, all the sacrifices, all the doubts fade away. They have done it. They have conquered Everest. The perilous descent. But the journey is far from over. The descent from the summit is just as perilous as the ascent, if not more so. Exhaustion sets in, and the lure of complacency can be deadly. Climbers must remain vigilant, carefully retracing their steps through the treacherous terrain. The thin air continues to take its toll, and the effects of altitude sickness can linger. The climbers rely on their training, their experience, and the support of their teammates to guide them safely back down the mountain. Everest's unforgiving nature. Everest is a harsh mistress, unforgiving of mistakes. The mountain's history is littered with tales of tragedy, of lives lost in pursuit of the summit. Sudden storms can sweep in with little warning, blanketing the slopes in blinding snow and whipping up hurricane-force winds. Avalanches, a constant threat, can roar down the mountainside with terrifying speed and force. Climbers must be prepared to face these dangers, to make life or death decisions in the face of extreme adversity. The mountain demands respect, and those who venture onto its slopes do so knowing that they are at the mercy of its capricious nature. Echoes of triumph and tragedy. The stories of Everest are a tapestry of triumph and tragedy, of human resilience and the mountain's indifference. For every climber who stands victorious on the summit, there are others who have paid the ultimate price for their dreams. The mountain serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the power of nature. Yet despite the risks, climbers continue to be drawn to Everest, compelled by its allure, its beauty, and the irresistible challenge it presents. They go knowing the risks, knowing that they may not return. They go because the mountain calls to them, whispering tales of adventure, of pushing the limits of human endurance, and of discovering the depths of their own strength. The mountain whispers, we listen. The journey to the summit of Everest is more than just a physical climb. It is a journey of self-discovery, a testament to the human spirit. It is a reminder that we are capable of achieving the extraordinary when we set our minds to it. The mountain may test us, it may push us to our limits, but it also reveals our true potential. And so the climbers come, drawn by the siren song of the summit. They come to test themselves, to challenge their limits, to experience the raw beauty and power of the world's highest peak. They come to write their own chapter in the ongoing saga of Everest, a story that will continue to be told for generations to come.